My name is Kat Abou-Ghazaleh. I'm running for Congress in the 9th District of Illinois, and the Department of Justice is charging 6 people, including myself, with federal crimes for exercising our First Amendment rights near ICE's Broadview Processing Center. This is a political prosecution and a gross attempt to silence dissent, a right protected under the First Amendment. This case is a major push by the Trump administration to criminalize protest and punish anyone who speaks out against them. That's why I'm going to fight these unjust charges, but I need your help to do it. As I and others have exercised our First Amendment rights, ICE has hit, dragged, thrown, shot with pepper balls, and tear gassed hundreds of protesters, simply because we had the gall to say that masked men coming into our communities, abducting our neighbors, and terrorizing us cannot be our new normal. And because Chicago doesn't back down from bullies in masks who tear gas our neighborhoods, this administration has resorted to weaponizing the federal justice system to scare us into silence. But we're not going to be silent. The Trump administration wants you to be afraid of speaking out against it and its anti-democratic power grabs. And there are plenty of reasons to be afraid right now, but we have to overcome that fear. This case targets our rights to protest, speak freely, and associate with anyone who disagrees with the government. And while we have seen the unhinged and unlawful tactics this administration has used against the American public, it's important to remember they're doing this because they are scared. They are wrong. And they know they are on the wrong side of history. We cannot diminish ourselves in the face of these attacks. That's why we have to unite and stand up for humanity, our rights, and everyone terrorized by Trump's lawless secret police. You'll be hearing regular updates directly from me about this case and how we can use our constitutional rights to resist authoritarianism. And as scary as all of this is, I have spent my career fighting America's backslide into fascism. I'm not going to stop now, and I hope you won't either.
Well, Steve, I guess we, consistent with your theme this morning, we initiated on this forum the conspiracy thought process about 4 years ago that renewables and the shortage of were causing a massive shortage of electricity and going to lead to massive, massive price hikes. And now suddenly, within the last few months, everybody's on board with, oh yeah, that's for real. Oh yeah, that's for real, including Bill Gates, who had this terrific epiphany and turnaround this week, now acknowledging an industrial economy cannot be powered based on renewables. And guess what? If we really want to feed the hungry and we want to take care of the poor, well, he's saying we need more vaccines, but we do need to spend more money on other things than renewables because they don't work to power an economy. Now, Bill, by the way, is a massive investor in AI and data center who activities who need massive quantities of baseload power. But now we have Zero Hedge saying the same thing. And even the Wall Street Journal, in an op-ed by Mario Loyola about 3 weeks ago, pointed out once again that the U.S. economy cannot be fueled to be sustainable with part-time intermittent renewables.
Brother, hang on. But Financial Times of London, AI bond spree sparks flood fears. I'm thinking about, and it's because debt tapped to cover data hub cost. Isn't there Gates and these guys? Their revelation is all tied to the fact they now know that artificial intelligence, where they're going to make 10 times bigger fortunes than they got, right? Because Jensen Huang says, hey, the whole computer stack of he calls it $100 trillion of computer infrastructure has to be done over now because the AI and what they're doing with quantum computing is totally different than what came before. It's their own. They're not having a revelation. They understand that this is now climate change is going to get in the way. Their sustainability stuff is all crap because they need to fire up, and they don't care if they put a nuclear power plant in your backyard to do it. If they don't get these data centers up and running, and they're going to raise $250 billion to do it right now in the debt markets, then the game is over, correct?
Oh, no, this is totally self-serving also. It's correct, but it's self-serving on their part. The $200 billion of debt that Meta, Alphabet, Oracle, and these guys have raised will build about 80 gigawatts of 1,000 megawatt power plants. That's what they need. That's the major infrastructure that they need to power this AI thing. It's not as much the computer equipment. It's the power generation facilities. So now they're all over. Hey, these have to run 24 hours a day. They have to be gas fired. And they're running into the fact that in a lot of regulated states, the regulated utilities are very opposed to and have all kinds of regulations making it very difficult for independent power production to occur. So Chris Wright does appropriately a few days ago come out with a charge to FERC to go ahead and get into looking at freeing up the ability of independent power producers to build generation plants in regulated states who block the transmission of electricity by competitors, who block competitors selling power over the border of their property, even 1 kilowatt, without selling it back only to them. All kinds of regulatory issues exist as impediments to allowing these firms to build their own power, which we need them to do. They need to hedge, and then they need to hedge if their business process doesn't bloom quite as they hope it will, that power can be sold into the grid cost effectively. We desperately need it anyhow. It's a good thing if these guys build their own generating capacity. And we can't have state regulated utilities standing in the way of that. They need to be helping it. So anyhow, it is self-serving, but what's happening is a good thing. It's beginning to crush the complete BS narrative.
It is, but hang on. It is, but hang on. But we must be clear. We must be clear in this. When it was just consumers, when it was just people in this audience, and all these phony commissions they've got in all these states that just work for the utilities and work for the politicians. Utilities give. When it was just you schmendricks out there, they didn't mind having solar batteries and having wind power, and they're going to have compost, and every whack job. The tides are going to come in and change everything. They all want to go back to Gaia and Mother Nature and do all this when it's you and your electricity doesn't work and your air conditioning doesn't work and your heat doesn't work and your grid's down. That's your problem, okay? We're going to get, put mirrors up there and get the sun. They don't care. Every whack job in the world, as long as they're spending money and charging it back to you and it doesn't work, and it doesn't work 24 hours a day, that's fine. But when it comes to them, and it comes to the next money grab, which is artificial intelligence. Oh, by the way, that's going to take all your jobs, right? When it comes to that, no. Upon further review, who thought up these whack job solar panels and wind? What the hell is that? No. We need gas. We need oil. How about this? Give me a nuclear power plant. Remember, for nuclear, for those years, you were the great Satan even to mention it. Oh, give me a nuclear power plant in the back next to the Little League diamond in the neighborhood next to the data center. Oh, because the water down there in the aquifers, we don't care if we suck West Texas dry. We don't care if we suck every piece of water out of Arizona. So be it. The god of artificial, demon summeth. They're being summoned by the demons, and the demon says we need the power.